Clinch Mountain United Methodist Women. We are so glad to greet you from Willow, Alaska. I am here. I'm Joe D. DowlingSoka. I'm one of the pastors of the Willow Methodist Church and Ministry, and Christina is the photographer, and she will be talking with you later. We are at the edge of Kashwitna Lake, which is one of the hundreds of lakes here in the 600 square miles that makes up Willow, Alaska. And if you look back here, you might be able to see that it's already starting to ice over. We were 20 degrees this morning, and in the next week or two, it's going to be really having a lot of ice out there. Eventually, it will be completely iced over, and we'll be on it with snowshoes and skis and snow machines and dog sleds. So that's a big part of it. What we want to do today is just tell you about our ministry here and the ministry that you support, and we are so thankful for that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into Willow proper, and we'll stop by and show you the school that you have been planning on supporting. We'll show you where that is, and then we'll go on to the food pantry in the church and tell you about that ministry as well. See you in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Christina, and I too want to send our greetings to all of the Clinch Mountain United Methodist women. I am standing right in front of the Willow Elementary School. Our school goes from pre-K up through the 5th grade. We have about 140 or 150 children. Jody and I have volunteered here from time to time, and he also substitutes here from time to time. We are thankful for all of you who have been participating across the years in hands-on missions to these children. The school supplies that you have sent have been tremendous. Every fall we give school supplies to a lot of children who very much are in need. And we also run programs of sack pack lunches. Some of your donations go to help us buy weekend food that we send home in bags so the children can be well fed. I think at last count we were up to about a third of the children here at the school. We send home bags of food each weekend. Our church folks do a lot with the school children here. We're particularly glad that through the summer our folk help to prepare lunches at the community center. There's a summer reading program that our library runs, and we're proud to be able to share lunches with the children all summer long. Just wanted you to see this wonderful school. We really love the children. They are amazing. They will go out and play in -10 weather. They love to build snow mountains, and just wonderful children, wonderful, resilient children. Thank you for your school supplies and other ways that you help this school thrive.
So here we are back at the church, and this place behind me here is our food pantry. It was the original church, and about 20 people could come for worship back quite a few years ago. Now it's the food pantry, and people who are members of the Willow Community Food Pantry come and shop here once a month and are able to be fed. We're going to tell you more about that ministry from inside. But before we do, I want to just show you these wood sheds over here. There are two back there. I think you can see one of them, and we give out wood every winter to folks whose only way to heat their homes is through wood. And this is emergency wood. And we give about what's called a fascia cord to each family during the winter to get them through an emergency. Okay, we're going to shift, and I'm going to tell you about the church in a second, and then we are going to go inside and talk about the rest of the ministry.
And here in the background you will see Willow United Methodist Church, where we gather for worship every Sunday morning. We might range from a small morning in 30 up to a huge morning in the 50s or 60s. But it's a blessing to be the co-pastors of Willow United Methodist Church. We're going to go inside and share about both of these ministries with you.
Well, now we are in the sanctuary, and this is a wonderful, wonderful place to worship. We really enjoy preaching here and being a part of this. I spoke this morning just about how wonderfully this congregation sings, and a lot of that has to do with the space that they are in. This space was built by people, a lot of folks from Holston and other places across the lower 48 who came up for a week and were volunteers in mission. And it is a wonderful job. Not only do we have a sanctuary that will seat 100 people, we have a kitchen and kitchen area for serving, and then a fireside room, a fellowship hall. And it is all space that was built by volunteers in mission. Let me tell you a little about the community that we are in the midst of. As I said earlier, Willow is an area encompassing 600 square miles. That is a huge amount of space, and there's only 2,200 people here. There are many more moose and bear than there are people, and many, many more dogs. Our number one industry job is dog mushing. We've got more people doing dogs and getting them ready for races and all of that than any other job. Our second job is bush pilot. So if you want to have somebody who will take you in the out and let you off, or a guide or something like that, that person might very well come from Willow here in Alaska. We have a lot of poverty here. We have people who are living on the edge, some who simply have no jobs. Their income is the permanent fund that comes yearly from the state, and that might be all the money they make for a whole year. There's great need. That's why we have our food pantry, with 15% of the population being a member of the food pantry.
We serve about 165 families a month. They will come in, and as we mentioned before, they are allowed to shop in the food pantry. We are partners with the Food Bank of Alaska, and we work very closely with them in getting food out to the people. We also are a site for government food, where the folks can receive twice a month commodity foods. Many of the folks, there are about 700 folks on the rolls of the food pantry total. They come and they receive a warm welcome when they walk through our food pantry doors. Our food pantry is staffed interdenominationally by volunteers from several of our local churches in the area, and there's always a good spirit in the air. We are thankful for you all, because you support us through advance specials. There's an advance number for the food pantry, which helps to fund the food pantry, and another one that helps Willow, Alaska, have the two of us as pastors. Without you, we would have a hard time being here. So we thank you for making it possible for us to be in ministry here in Willow. We are, I think we're 30 miles from the next United Methodist Church south, and we are about 300 miles to the next United Methodist Church north, is up in Fairbanks. So we become pastors for the whole community, as well as our United Methodist friends.
We have the major item, other than being the amount of hungry that live here, folks who are just living on the edge, is isolation. And people choose to come to Willow, Alaska in order to be in isolation. The problem with that is when things are going tough, there's not anybody knocking on your door. Most people don't have family nearby that are going to check on them. So people are very, very much alone. And so we do have a lot of depression. We have a lot of self-medication through drugs. We have a lot of issues that a worshiping community like this United Methodist Church tries to work with. Another issue we have is we just had 2 huge fires. Because the climate is warming, we are suffering major fires every few years. The last one was the sockeye fire that was here in Willow, and it was some 4 years ago. But these two fires that came in early August this year, there were 25 fires ignited that one day that all of our firefighters had to reach. We had two that got out of control. And one of them was the McKinley fire. And the McKinley fire happened here in the Willow area and burned 52 residences and some 80 structures. One family that's a part of our church, their trailer that they live in was not burned, but everything that they stored in their outside structure was, which was all of their winter clothing. So one of the things that we have done is help them replenish all of their winter clothing. That's one of the things we do. I am serving as the chair of the McKinley Fire Recovery Group, and we're going to be working over the next 2 years in trying to help people get back into homes. Most folks did not have insurance, and we're going to work to try to get them back at least into a new normal that is similar to what they had before the fire. That's just the work that is taking place here in Willow, Alaska, and you are helping us make that happen.
One of the interesting things is that many people here live in what's called dry cabins. That means they may live off the grid without power, and they will do solar energy or heat with wood, and many of them don't have water. So the church becomes a place where they can come and take showers, a place where they can fill up their water jugs. We provide a lot of emergency assistance as well to persons if they run out of fuel, not only through our firewood, but we have emergency voucher systems where we can make sure that people stay warm. It can get as cold as negative 20, negative 30.
Yes.
Sometimes as cold as negative 40. So it becomes a matter of survival, and the church has become a bright ray of light in the midst of the dark of winter. Speaking of which, we're getting a little darker each night.
Little over 5 minutes a day is moving us toward darkness. And by the time the winter solstice comes in December, we will be at about 5.5 hours of light each day. And the rest, of course, is the darkness. And I got to tell you, it's beautiful. It's just wonderful. The light comes just above the trees. And so it's artist light. It's horizontal. And the mountains just glow. We love it. This is a winter wonderland. Our snow comes and it stays all winter, but our snow is powder. And so it's light and fluffy. You can't make a snowball with it, but it's great for skiing and snow machining, which is what we call snowmobiling, and snowshoeing and all these wonderful winter activities here. And what we want to do, we're going to tell you several ways that you can help us if you choose to, but one of the things I want to do is offer you a place to come to. As long as we are here in the parsonage at Willow, Alaska, we invite you to come and stay with us. Just give us a ring, give us an email. My email is joe.dowlingsoka@gmail.com. And let me know when you're coming, and if our two guest bedrooms are available, you're certainly welcome to come. Come at Iditarod. The Iditarod starts here in March. It starts in here at Willow, and it's heading for Nome, Alaska, and it's hundreds of miles away, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful event. If you love winter, it's a good time to visit.
We are thankful for your support across the years. Many of you all in the Clinch Mountain District have been tremendous supporters. Your connection with this ministry goes way back. Fran Lynch, who many of you will know, has been she is a retired church and community worker who came through the Mission General Board of Global Ministries to serve here, and she has been a key person in helping the ministries develop that reach to the whole community. They have, through the partnering with others in the community, they have done amazing things like bringing a clinic here and bringing a public transportation here and starting recycling, and of course the work that is done through the food pantry. You supported us through the advance as I've mentioned before, but also your in-kind gifts have been tremendous. Every Christmas we give out a piece of new clothing to every person who comes to our Christmas package celebration day, where they also get the fixings for a Christmas meal. You have sent us scarves and hats. You sent us school supplies and toiletries and shopping bags that help our folk at the food pantry be able to gather their food. We are indeed grateful for the outpouring of love, enabling us to be Christ's hands and feet in this corner of Alaska.
One more word about Fran. She is not just a retired church and community worker. As you probably know, she is a United Methodist Women deaconess, and very proud of that. We have 2 deaconesses here in the Alaska Conference, and 2 more folks who are going to become deaconess, or what are the males? They are
Home missioners?
home missioners. One's male and one's female. So we're excited. Fran's model is making a difference here in Alaska. If you are interested in forming at your church a VIM team to come to Alaska, I'm the one who coordinates that. Send me an email. I'll send you the application. We are probably going to have 4 VIM teams because of the fire reconstruction this next couple of summers. So we've got more opportunities than usual for VIM teams.
And VIM teams means volunteer in mission.
Work teams.
Right. They come, and many will sleep on mattresses in our fellowship hall, or we will some weeks host our mission teams in homes, depending on the team's preference. And they've done amazing things, from helping to build this sanctuary and the food pantry to building additions, to cutting firewood each summer, and sometimes helping us to lead Vacation Bible School.
And they built the parsonage that we live in, that I'm inviting you to come and stay in. Well, we want to say goodbye, good afternoon. We are so thankful for your ministry, and if there's anything we can do to help you, please let us know.
And again, I would just add my deepest thanks to all of you, and what a gift it is to be serving here in Alaska on your behalf. We are reminded of that wonderful verse in Philippians, where it says, "I thank my God every time I remember you." And we thank God for each of you. What a blessing to be a part of your ministry here in Alaska.
Thank you.